The stories you're about to see are real. The rewards up to $5 million are real. This is Augusta Crime Stoppers, where you stay anonymous. The criminals don't. And now, this Crime Stoppers special report.
The Grovetown Department of Public Safety announces that Chad Stefani has turned himself in on Wednesday. Authorities say Stefani faces 3 counts of attempted child molestation in regards to allegedly asking a woman to spend time with her 4 young children. Do criminals or suspected criminals or someone who is accused of someone, when they turn themselves in, does that change your opinion of whether or not they're innocent or guilty? Go to our Facebook page, AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, and let us know what you think. Does a suspect turning themselves in change your opinion about whether they're guilty or innocent? Let us know. Thank you. On Valentine's morning, Richmond County Sheriff's deputies were called to a home in the 3800 block of Farrington Drive just after midnight on February 13th. A 63-year-old man reports that he was leaving his shower when he heard what sounded like 8 gunshots outside. He said one of the bullets entered his bedroom and struck his TV. 3 other witnesses were in the home and all recalled hearing about 8 gunshots. A 60-year-old man said he woke to find the window blinds damaged and a hole in his closet door. None of the occupants saw the shooters. Deputies found 7 bullet holes in the right side of a 2000 Mercedes-Benz in front of the home. 3 holes were found on the front of the home and 20 shell casings were found on the street. A 20-year-old who was in the home at the time told police he had been involved in a shooting last February, but wasn't sure whether the incidents were related. If you know who or where this shooter may be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid. Richmond County Sheriff's deputies are looking for the unknown white male you see on your screen. He's approximately 40 to 50 years of age, 5'7" to 5'8" in height, 220 pounds or so. He has brown hair and brown eyes. On Friday, February 13th, 2015, the white male that you see on your screen reportedly passed a stolen check at the CVS located at 2703 Washington Road. There were 2 other stolen checks passed the same day at Pep Boys located at 2728 Washington Road, and the checks had been previously stolen in a burglary. If you think you know who this unknown white male burglary suspect may be, please contact investigator Rolf Kramer or any property crimes investigator at the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744. where you remain anonymous and get paid. The Richmond County Sheriff's deputies need your help finding a male who is accused of stealing 2 riding lawnmowers valued at about $2,400 apiece around 4:24 p.m. Monday. The store employee said an unknown male was seen on surveillance video removing a Husqvarna riding lawnmower, and that he was last seen pushing the Husqvarna riding lawnmower towards Windsor Springs Road. Later in the day, the same suspect returned and removed a second lawnmower from the property. Wow, that's a big place. You would think they would have stopped him before he pushed it out of the parking lot. The male is described only as wearing dark clothing. If you think you know who or where this Husqvarna hustling thief might be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and get paid. Lieutenant Tim Thornton writes in an update on Terry Odell Dumas, also known as Ice, 19-year-old black male, 6'1", 186 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Terry Odell Dumas is said to have last been seen driving a blue Chevy Malibu and was also seen in an older black Honda Accord. If you have any information about Terry Odell Dumas, also known as Ice, please call the police or Crime Stoppers at the number listed. Columbia County Sheriff's deputies need your help stopping the shoplifter you see on your screen from stealing things you have to be charged more to buy. Every time a shoplifter steals or employees get together to embezzle, which is happening more and more, you have to pay higher prices for things you need. With so much stealing going on, soon you'll pay as much for shoplifters stealing things as it did to make it in the first place. If you know who or where this shoplifter may be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid. The assistant manager for Walmart, 41-year-old Kevin Clay, was arrested Friday for smuggling out 4 iPhones worth about $2,500. About 40% of all employees now steal from or allow others to steal from their employers. Here's a video of an employee at Kroger allowing a friend of hers to steal the sodas that are on the bottom shelf of his cart. In the video, you'll notice he never puts the sodas on the counter or rings them up. Yet, she even gives him a refund on the cash money that he got off of his EBT card. Here are some other videos of employees stealing from their employers. One of the main ways that employees steal from their employers is they form groups or gangs. They form friendships. One friend lets the other friend steal. That's really what's happening. We've even brought it to the attention of security at certain stores. Hey, those people are stealing over there. And you walk around the corner and see that the items were obviously bulging out from under their shirt. But because the guard had some type of connection to the thieves, he let them steal. If you can get a video of somebody stealing from an employer or employee or anybody really, but we really want to concentrate on this employee theft, send it to Griff@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org. And if we can turn this over to the police and the police can get an arrest, we'll give you a cash reward within hours of that arrest. All you have to do is call 800-222-TIPS. That's 800-222-8477, where you remain anonymous and get paid.
And now, this Crime Stoppers special report.
Also tonight, the director of Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers standing by his principals, refusing to turn over an anonymous tip to a judge by literally eating it. Yep, there it goes, right there into his mouth. And now that cop is being held in contempt. Local 10 News reporter Victor Okendo is live at Crime Stoppers headquarters in Doral to explain this one.
Lori, after years on the force, Richard Maston joined Crime Stoppers in 2008. Now he's standing up for something that he believes in, and unless he stands down, he faces up to 14 days in jail. How far would you go to protect something you believe in?
The issue is the court asking Crime Stoppers to go back on their promise.
Yes, that's paper that former cop Dick Maston munched on Friday. Why? Because Maston is the executive director of Crime Stoppers Miami, and he refused Judge Victoria Brennan's order to divulge information from a tip.
I was afraid that I was going to be taken into custody and that would be part of the property, and there it goes. So I had a little lunch.
That lunch contained details about the tip and tipster that had called Crime Stoppers, and it's now making its way through Maston's system.
With all due respect to you, I think your client's very passionate about it.
He is that. And
but I think sometimes passion can cloud judgment.
We promise the people that give us information to solve murders, serious violent crimes in this community, that they can call us with an assurance that they will remain anonymous and that nothing about them or their information will ever be compromised.
This all stems from a cocaine possession charge. The state versus Lisette Alvarez.
There's absolutely no information that I am looking for that has to do with the name or the identity of a tipster. It's only the evidence that would be used in trial against her that the tipster provided.
A defendant could work that case backwards and put the tipster at peril, and I'm not going to let that happen.
How'd that taste?
Pretty dry, to tell you the truth.
And Maston has until Thursday to decide on whether or not he will give up that tip sheet. But he told our Local 10 crime specialist, John Turchin, that next time he sees a judge, he'll just bring his toothbrush. Doesn't sound like he'll be giving up too much information anytime soon. We're in Doral. I'm Victor Okendo, Local 10 News.
And now, this Crime Stoppers special report.
Women being the fastest growing segment of the gun-owning majority, new holsters, new products have come out to meet what females need to protect themselves. A revolutionary new product called the automatic holster is combining resistance and functionality, making it real different against aggressors. The automatic action can save your life in an emergency, getting your gun ready to shoot in a split second. And guys, the holster. Take a look at the holster, guys. Another new gun product women are taking to heart is the flashbang. Women have a hard time finding a place to carry a gun because their clothes typically fit pretty close. But there's a secret hiding place women have been using to hide things for years, and the flashbang holster takes advantage of this very popular hiding spot. Take a look at this video, go to our Facebook page, AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, and let us know what you think.
That works and show everything here, and that way I'm not. Can't get to your phone and call 911 all the time. You know, you need to be able to defend yourself on a moment's notice. What it is a little thermoplastic shell that snaps down around the gun. It was kind of like, well, where can I put this thing that it won't show? So, you know, just tried putting my gun in different places and seeing where was the most concealed. Out of the way, and I'm gonna pretend like this is my bra. Stop, get back. And women kind of have this natural little overhang here, and it's a great spot to tuck a gun. I really never intended to create a holster line. That was never something that I wanted to do. I just did this for myself. But as I was talking to other women, they're like, oh my gosh, this is great. I have the same problem.
Who is it?
Somebody picked the wrong girl.
And now, this Crime Stoppers special report.
If you're like us at Crime Stoppers, you've probably heard various anti-gun groups claiming that the increased acceptance of firearms in American society is going to lead to more violent crime and gun accidents. Unfortunately for the gun grabbers, we know that gun accidents have been steadily declining for decades for both children and adults, and are now at an all-time historical low, even as firearm ownership in the United States is an all-time high, both in terms of raw numbers, more than 300 million firearms, and in terms of the percentage of the population believed to be armed, more than 100 million, and the number of permitted concealed carriers, more than 11 million. Both the number of gun owners and the number of total firearms in the United States every day is theoretically meeting all new, all-time highs each and every day. The gun control groups and the media outlets attempting to carry their proverbial water have been reduced to claiming that the social acceptance of gun culture is somehow leading to more violent crime. Perhaps they should have spoken with the FBI before crafting that lie. Figures released today in the FBI's preliminary semi-annual Uniform Crime Report reveal overall declines in the number of violent crimes and property crimes reported to law enforcement during the first 6 months of 2014, when compared to figures for the first 6 months of 2013. Violent crimes reported for January through June of 2014 were down 4.6% from the same time period in 2013. All of the offenses in the violent crime category, murder and non-negligent manslaughter, rape, aggravated assault, and robbery, showed decreases, and the number of property crimes during the same time period decreased 7.5%, with all three offenses, burglary, larceny, theft, and motor vehicle theft, showing declines. There are those who hype fear to sell gun control, then those who look to the hard data and come to the inescapable conclusion that firearm ownership reduces crime. The science is settled. A good guy with a gun stops the bad guys with a gun. However, if you find out that someone's participating in crime, or you've been a victim of crime, or you know how to solve a crime, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid.
While pushing the idea that everyone that buys a gun goes crazy and instantly becomes a gunslinger, here's some stories that the anti-rights groups do not want you to hear.
It is investigators admit that she did everything right. She called 911, she armed herself and she hid. But while she was on the phone waiting for help to arrive, she was forced to take care of the problem herself, pulling the trigger on a man she's certain would have killed her.
And they tied my front door and my cut door, and now they're trying to break in my back gate.
Okay, stay on the line with me. I've already got off the start. Do not hang up, okay?
All right, I have a gun in my hand. I'm terrified.
May 6th, near 67th Avenue and Indian School in Phoenix. Police say 20-year-old Michael Lewis is breaking into the home of a widow who told me that her late husband taught her something that would save her life. How to handle a .38 caliber handgun.
Yeah, I've got a lot of options coming out now.
It just broken.
It just broke?
Yeah, it was my upstairs door.
Okay, yeah, I've got them coming out there. They're coming out as fast as they can.
The homeowner begs the dispatcher for help before hiding in the bathroom.
You don't need to answer anything. I'm going to stay on the line with you, okay? What happened?
What did you do? If you're going to use a stick, you have to stick that. If you find my left foot. Oh, no. I shot him.
You shot him?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, I've got everybody coming out for help, okay?
Please hurry. Don't get up, I'll shoot you again.
Out of breath, she tries to explain whether she's hurt.
I don't know. My face is bleeding. I'm bleeding from some places. I don't know where. I don't know. He was beating on me.
He was hitting you?
He was beating on me when he found out I was in there.
Michael Lewis pled guilty to second-degree burglary and aggravated assault. He was granted bond last week, and he is out of jail right now while he waits being sentenced here on September 15th.
The homeowner tells us he's on medical leave from his job with the Postal Service. He was at home just trying to get some rest when several doorbell rings woke him up.
I hear a strong knock, and I'm like, something going on.
Quentin Wood says it was the suspect breaking through his front door. You can see the hinges that came undone as Quentin grabbed his gun and called police.
It's quiet. I hear something happening, but I'm not sure what's happening, but I know he's in my house.
Seconds later, the homeowner came face to face with the suspect.
I'm like, man, why are you doing this? Why you do this? And he told me, I'm a thief. I'm a thief.
After that, Quentin says the thieves started coming toward him, and he had no other choice but to shoot. Reporting in Northwest Harris County, Samantha Tashkin, KPRC Local 2.
Well, Ursula, police are telling us that it was the homeowner who shot this burglar and that it all started right here at this home right behind me. Now, it happened about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Police say the homeowner was asleep inside when he heard a knock at the door. He told officers he wasn't expecting anyone, so he didn't rush to answer it. But that's when he heard someone kick the door down. Police say that's when he grabbed a gun to defend himself.
Was able to grab his handgun in the process, of 3 suspects breaking the front door into his location. He was able to fire off several rounds. One of those rounds hit one of the suspects.
After one of the suspects was shot, all 3 took off from the scene in a light-colored Camry. The suspected burglar that was shot was dropped off at Baptist Hospital downtown by the 2 other suspects. We're told that he is 26-year-old and he was shot in the upper torso, and that he was later transported to University Hospital. As for the 48-year-old homeowner, we're told he's okay, and while the case is still under investigation, he will not face any charges. However, if the burglar recovers, he will face charges. We're live on the city's northwest side. Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
The surveillance video captures it all. 4 suspects, armed and dangerous, attempting to invade his southwest side home.
The victim was able to get back inside his house, close his door, semi-barricaded, reach for a weapon that was easily accessible.
That's when you hear gunfire. The 4 men retreat, get into their car, but not before the homeowner's bullet hit the windshield. Pima County Sheriff's officials say the homeowner has surveillance cameras installed all around his house.
But the man gets her alone, her nightmare begins. He appears to have a gun in his pocket and orders her to hand over all her cash. But that's not all he wants. He also orders her to come around from behind her.
I got real nervous and I said, "Why? I've already given you money. There's nothing else." And by then I was terrified.
So terrified that she does something she's never done in her life. She grabs a gun hidden in a drawer and pulls the trigger. It's the first time she's ever fired a gun.
I felt that my life was in danger and I wasn't ready to die. I wasn't ready to go yet.
The suspect goes down, but he's still alive.
I was going to shoot him again, and that's when he started screaming, "I don't have anything, ma'am, I don't have anything."
The suspect doesn't have a weapon, and now Smith could be in trouble, facing possible charges for shooting an unarmed man.
And I was more worried about them coming after me.
Fortunately for the sales clerk, the video shows her being threatened and shooting in self-defense.
These are only a few of the thousands of such stories buried in the archives of TV networks and TV stations. The truth is, gun violence is down, and the gun grabbers don't want you to know it. They want to brainwash you against guns. I'm Dave Michael. Augusta Crime Stoppers is brought to you by WBEK Channel 16 and Augusta Crime Stoppers. You too could be a Crime Stopper. If you have any information on any crime, call our tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS. Augusta Crime Stoppers is a production of Michaels Media. Augusta Crime Stoppers, where you stay anonymous. The criminals don't.